Picture this. You're in the hospital with your 10-year-old child. The surgeon tells you both that they need an organ transplant and they are putting your kid on the transplant list. But due to the lack of organ donors, the likelihood of your young child getting what they need is very slim, and he probably won't make it until his next birthday. According to the Donate Life America, while 95% of the U.S. adults support organ donation, only 54% are actual registered donors. There are so many reasons to become an organ donor, and so few why not. Organ donors are always needed, and we lack them so much in the United States. Signing up as an organ donor cannot be easier these days. An anonymous author wrote in a PR Newswire New York article, most residents waited until their driver's license or identification cards were up for renewal every 4 years before thinking about adding the organ donor designation. What if you needed an organ? Would you be okay with everyone saying that they would be a donor, but in 4 years when it's convenient for them? I hope not. Today, I'm sharing with you the reasons why everyone should be an organ donor, the negative effects of not being one that it has on critical patients who are counting on you, and why becoming an organ donor is so important in today's world, and how it can actually save you money. While being an organ donor may not be something people think about daily, weekly, or even yearly, it is super important in our society. We all see that little box to check off when we are renewing our driver's license every few years. When you sit down and to either check off or not check off the box, there are a couple questions you should ask yourself. If I were to die tomorrow, do I want to save someone's child who has their own life ahead of them? Do I want to save someone's mother who's a perfect match for my liver? Am I selfish or selfless for the people who will live after me? The sad thing is, so many college students do not register to be an organ donor, even though we should be the ones with the highest number of donors. James W.P. shares from a Progress in Transplantation article that despite the fact that college students support social causes, this age group has underparticipated in organ donation registration. Little research attention has been given to understanding deeper, higher order relationships between the attitudes towards and perceptions of organ donation and registration behavior. The younger population should be the ones jumping at this opportunity to save lives. James W.P. also shared from his Progress in Transplantation article that globally there remains a growing chasm between the supply and demand for organ and tissue donors. In the United States alone, 111,000 people are on our transplant waiting list, and approximately 20 people die every single day while waiting for a suitable donor. Given this shortage, the transplant community has made calls to action for research that enhances the acceptance of organ donation and willingness to join donor registries. Unfortunately, the level of participation in state donor registries is only at 40% nationally in 27 states, below the minimum standard rate for actionable donor designation of 50%. Because of their propensity to support various and social causes, it is particularly surprising that college students have underparticipated in organ donor registration. Previously, academic studies have estimated that the penetration of organ donor registration of college students ranges from the 8th to 58th percentile, with a mean of only 23%. Although the participation rate for college students is far below target minimum, a promising stream of recent research shows that college students are supportive of organ donation and seem willing to become organ donors. Many fully don't understand the high demand for organ donors, not until they are on the waitlist themselves or a loved one is in need. It is a huge bummer. It takes a life or death situation for people to realize the impact that it can make on someone's life by just checking a box. Some may argue, I plan on dying very old. Well, don't we all? No one can benefit from the organs, right? They only want young people organs. Wrong. Becoming an organ donor means that you're donating your body to whomever needs it. Whether that's a human that is alive who needs something from your body to benefit them, a class of upcoming surgeons learning from cadavers in their anatomy class, or current surgeons who are further studying the human body to benefit the next generation. Caroline Jones wrote in an article on a young man diagnosed with a rare diabetes disease who needed 2 kidney transplants or he would die in a week. In July 2011, Caroline wrote, "Today things could not be better for Lee. He has a new kidney and pancreas. He has returned to work, and in September he is getting married to one of the nurses who took care of him when he was in the hospital." But Lee said his new lease of life was down to one woman whose organs gave him the gift of life, and her family. Lee said, "I owe my life to the young lady and her parents who agreed to let the hospital and use their daughter's organs. They can't tell you a lot about the person, but they told me that she was about the same age as me and had died suddenly of natural causes. I did write a letter to the family, and I hope it brings them some comfort knowing that she changed my life. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for her." Everyone always says your kids aren't supposed to die before you, but it does happen. Wouldn't you want their early death to keep another family from feeling the same pain you are today? It's hard to think of others while you're suffering a loss, but it's important to look ahead and see what you can do to benefit someone else. Becoming an organ donor isn't about you. Our whole life we go every day thinking about ourselves and our family. But when it's your time to pass on, being an organ donor, you can think about your family and someone in need. When you're an organ donor, the remains of your body that were not used or needed after donation or research are returned to your family. No one needs to buy an expensive casket or rent an area in a cemetery. It is free when you are a donor. Your ashes are returned to your family if requested, and no money comes out of anyone's pockets. You are saving lives and saving money. Becoming an organ donor has benefits. The U.S. is lacking donors, and we all need to step up and be selfless for the ones around us by donating our body that we will no longer benefit from after we die, but someone else can. Don't push off registering to be a donor. Do it this week. Do it today. We will never know what happens tomorrow, but if we die unexpectedly, we cannot tell people that we were going to sign up next week. It will be too late, and our body will go to waste. But if we all act now, every single one of us can save lives. Yeah. Gosh,